Good evening, students.
Good evening, sir.
We'll get started. Okay. So last part that is left out in this chapter is mean value theorem and Rolle's theorem. By the way, I didn't find time to solve that last problem yesterday. Maybe I'll try it today, or I'll try to send it by tomorrow. The 16th problem, right, in the assignment. That one alone I'll send it. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the last topic of this chapter, that is mean value theorem and Rolle's theorem. So it is a very simple thing. Let's see how to solve. Shall I get started? Is there anyone having any other doubt from the previous topics? Shall I proceed?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So first, so topic is mean value theorem. So first is theorem number 6, which mainly speaks about a topic called as Rolle's theorem. So Rolle's is the name of the scientist and this theorem. Suppose you have a function f, okay, which is mapped between two sets. So f is a function which is defined in the closed interval a to b, and it is defined onto a real number set. Okay, let this kind of a function be continuous on the closed interval a to b and differentiable on the open interval a to b. Okay, so I'm going to club all these points and I'm going to write it in a separate page. So what is that they're trying to say? So the heading is, I want you to make a notes like this, like the way I'm going to write. I'm trying to analyze what exactly happens. So when you talk about Rolle's theorem, you have a function which is mapped from the closed interval a to b to the real number set, such that what is the first condition it is satisfying? It should be continuous on the closed interval a to b. Second is, it should be differentiable on the open interval a to b. Clear, guys? And the third is, the function value at a is equal to the function value at b. Okay, if these three conditions are satisfied simultaneously in the sense, even if any one of the condition fails, then Rolle's theorem fails. Okay, if these three conditions are satisfied, then there exists a number C where f dash of C is equal to 0. Then exists a number C which belongs to the open interval a to b such that f dash of C is equal to 0. So please make a note. Then I will explain the visual part behind it, how you are supposed to see. Okay, please make a note of this.
Done, sir.
Done? Good. So let me show you. Suppose there is a function S. Okay. So there is a function. You will learn it in the next chapter, which is called, basically there are functions which keep increasing with respect to time. There are functions which keep decreasing with respect to time. And there will be certain sets of functions which increase and then decrease with respect to time. Okay. Suppose I have a function f of x. This point is a and this point is b. And it is like this. Will this, so is it satisfying the first condition of Rolle's theorem? What is the first condition? It should be continuous. So if you look at the graph, I can say there is no point of discontinuity. Second, it should be differentiable. Yes, I'm able to see it as differentiable. Third, what is the condition that, what is the third condition? F of A should be equal to F of B, means this height and this height should be the same, which is not true in this case. Why is it happening? Because the function is a strictly increasing function. Increasing the sense, as you keep moving from left to right, the function is keeping on going the upward direction. It's an increasing function. What can you say about a function like this? AB. It is decreasing. So in this also, the third condition is failing. Hence, in both these scenarios, we are not, it is not sufficient enough. The conditions are not sufficient enough for us to apply Rolle's theorem. Now, for Rolle's theorem to be applied, what should happen is, since f of A should be equal to f of B, let me draw this. Then, if the curve goes up, then it should be ensured that it should come down. In a similar way, f of A, f of B. If the curve goes down, it should be ensured that it comes up. You're able to understand this? Are you guys able to visualize? Such that there will be a point C, okay, so that if you draw a tangent to the curve at point C, then f dash of x at C will be equal to 0, which is nothing but f dash of C is equal to 0. This is where we need to revisit the basics. I would have stressed on one important point. Why do we differentiate? When you differentiate a function, what exactly are you getting? What is the output you are getting?
Slope of the function.
You're getting the slope of the tangent to the curve at that point, right? So generally, if you observe the first curve, the first graph, before C, the curve was increasing. After C, the curve is decreasing, right? So can I say, when the curve is like this, can I say it has attained the maximum value at C? The curve has attained the maximum function value at C. Because
Yes,
you
sir.
take any other y value, at C only you have the maximum y value. So generally what happens is, at the maximum point or at the minimum point, if you draw a tangent, by default the tangent will be parallel to x-axis. I repeat, if you draw a tangent at the maximum or the minimum point, by default those two tangents will be parallel to x-axis, and when the tangents are parallel to x-axis, the slope of the tangent is going to be equal to the slope of x-axis, and we know that slope of x-axis is 0 according to straight lines, whereas with respect to the curve we know slope is nothing but differentiation, and that is the reason why f dash of C is equal to 0. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys were able to visualize it. Please make a note of this point. Please make a note of all the important points that I told you. Done? Done?
1 minute.
Yeah, please make
Yes, sir.
write it down.
Sir, I have it.
10 minutes.
So this we'll get questions from the graph in exam also, right?
I'll explain the example. Don't worry about it. You need not
We
draw the
get
graph.
these graphs in tests, sir.
Sorry?
Will we get these type of graphs in a test, sir?
No. They'll just ask you to verify Rolle's theorem. That's it. You actually will be solving it theoretically. I drew all these graphs only for you to understand what this theorem says. I cannot just like that give a statement and say you accept it. No.
Yes,
You have to
understood. Okay, sir.
Anyways, even if you get no, it is going to be a simple graph which you can manage. Don't worry. They're not going to give you a complicated sine of cos theta and all that. Simple graphs.
Okay, sir.
But generally, we don't solve it using graphs. We solve it using theorem. Okay. See, for example. So this is theorem number 6, which is Rolle's theorem. There is another theorem called as mean value theorem, which I'll come later. First, let's understand Rolle's theorem. So the question says, verify Rolle's theorem for the function y is equal to x square plus 2 between the points a is equal to minus 2 to plus 2. Let's see. Okay. Now listen, guys. So the function is x square plus 2. A is equal to minus 2, b is equal to. So what are the first things we need to do? So when they say verify, no, you can ask me a question. What are we supposed to verify? Sir? It's very simple. First, check if the function is continuous between the given points. Between minus 2 to 2 is, do you think x square plus 2 is continuous? So keeping everything aside, we can understand that x square plus 2 is a polynomial function. Right? So every polynomial function has a domain of real number set. So between minus 2 to 2, I can surely say that x square plus 2 is a continuous function. Right? Second, it is also differentiable on minus 2 to 2. So how I told it is differentiable is because it's a simple function which we can handle. Y is equal to x square represents what? X square is equal to y is a? It's an upward parabola. Then what will y is equal to x square plus 2 represent? It will be an upward parabola like this. So the given points are minus 2 and 2. Again, I repeat, you need not draw the graph. I'm explaining only for you to understand. Okay. So by looking at the graph itself, one thing should be clear with the theory that you know, that the curve is first, what is happening? It is dipping and then increasing. So it is a decreasing and then increasing. So it has a point of, so if it is increasing and decreasing, that point is called as point of maximum. Decreasing and increasing, the bottommost point of minimum. Okay. It has a minimum point at which if you try to draw a tangent, the tangent should be parallel to x-axis. So what we are supposed to do is, we need to prove that there is a number existing only between minus 2 and 2, where f dash of c is 0. Let c be a number between minus 2 to 2 such that f dash of x is equal to 0. So what is f dash of x? F dash of x is equal to 2x. If I put 2x is equal to 0, I get x is equal to 0. Okay. So since I got x is equal to 0 here, I need to say that since 0, accepted guys, 0 is a number between minus 2 to 2, Rolle's theorem is verified. That's it. Are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say? Since it is continuous and differentiable, I am able to find a number C between -2 to 2, where f dash of C is equal to 0. Hence, I verified the Rolle's theorem. Yes, it is true. So third
Yes,
point,
sir.
sorry guys, third point that I missed is, I did it in mind, but I forgot to write. F of -2 is equal to f of 2. Accept it. F of -2 is 6. F of +2 is also 6.
Yes, sir.
Since these three conditions are satisfied, along with the fourth one, Rolle's theorem is very good. Now I am giving you a question. If I want this question, if I want Rolle's theorem to fail in this question, what changes can I make? I don't want the function to be changed, but I want Rolle's theorem to fail for this problem. What changes can I do? I don't want to change the function also. I've given you 3 hints. I don't want to change the function. With the same function, I need to do some manipulations in the question so that this function fails to explain fails under Rolle's theorem condition. Very simple. I can change the value of A or B. For example, if I take the value of A as -3, then what would have happened?
-3 is not equal to f of -3 is not equal to f of 2.
F of -3 will not be equal to f of +2. But the other two conditions would have got satisfied. Sorry, are you able to understand that point? It is very, very important that you understand this. Okay. Second, shall I move on, guys? Shall I proceed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So next is mean value theorem. It is something similar to Rolle's theorem only, but only one thing that it is. So let f be a function defined from the closed interval a to b to r. Okay, first, it should be continuous on the closed interval a to b. Second, it should be differentiable on open interval a to b. Okay, these two conditions should get satisfied. These two are a part of Rolle's theorem also. That one extra thing is there in Rolle's theorem, no? That f of a is equal to f of b, that will be missing in this. That's it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is mean value theorem so this one alone will be missing. So these two will be satisfied. Then there exists a number C between the open interval a to b such that f dash of c is equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. Okay, it's not a very big thing and all. I'll explain it. Before you write, I'll explain it. Not a very big logic and all. Simple thing. X, Y. Okay. So since here f of a is not equal to f of b, what can I say about the types of function? They can either be an increasing function or a decreasing function. or they can be an increasing and decreasing also. We don't know. They can be increasing and decreasing also, but I can say that the function values at the extreme points are definitely not equal. So when I say increasing and decreasing, it can be like this. Correct, Dana? It has gone up, again coming down. But f of A and f of B are not same. At that point of time, what will happen is, see, if this is A and this is B, if this point is A comma f of A and this point is B comma f of B, then I can join these two lines so that I'll call it as a secant. So what is the slope of secant, guys? Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. F of B minus F of A divided by B minus. Correct? Now comes another important question. If I am able to find a point C somewhere between the open interval A to B, such that if I draw a tangent to this curve at that particular point, then what will happen is the slope of this tangent will be f dash of C. So f dash of the tangent that you have drawn will be parallel to secant. When two lines are parallel to each other, obviously their slopes are going to be the same. That is what this expression means. So basically, f dash of C is nothing but the slope of the tangent to the curve at the point C, and f of B minus f of A divided by B minus A is nothing but the slope of secant. Here, guys, it is the slope of secant. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
So please make a note. Done? No. Let's do a problem which is based on this. Verify mean value theorem for the function f of x is equal to x square in the interval 2, 4. So A is 2, B is 4, and y is equal to x square. So y is equal to x square. Is it continuous in this interval 2 to 4? So continuity, it is S. Differentiability, it is S. And f of A is not equal to f of B. F of A is 4, f of B is 16. Right? Now, what is that we need to prove? We need to prove that there is a number between 2 and 4 where you try to draw a tangent. That tangent will be exactly parallel to the secant that is joining the points 2 and 4. Okay, we need to find what that point is. So for that, what we will do is first differentiate it and equate it to 0. So 2x is equal to 0, which implies x is equal to 0. Okay. So sorry, f dash of x. Sorry. F dash of x is how much? It is 2x. Let this be 1. What is f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a? 16 minus 4 divided by 2. So f dash of x is equal to 6, which implies 2x is equal to 6 and x will be equal to 3. Now, what we are trying to say is, since the function is continuous and it is differentiable in the given interval, along with the condition failing that f of a is not equal to f of b, Then there exists a point x is equal to 3, which is obviously going to lie between 2 and 4, such that at point 3, if you draw a tangent, the tangent will be parallel to the secant. So I will show you diagrammatically what is the meaning of it. So if I take a curve like this, I'm going to take the points as 2, 2, 4. So joining these 2 points, there will be a secant like this. At point 3, if I draw a tangent, okay, my diagram is approximate only. So if I point 3, if I draw a tangent, then the secant and the tangent will be parallel to each other. Guys are able to understand this. That is what mean value theorem says.
Sir, can you scroll up?
Sure.
Done, sir.
Done? So that's all with this chapter, guys. Okay. Let's finish this exercise. I'm not going to do it. You guys are going to do and tell me, so that I want to understand how much you have got it. Do the first question and tell me. Verify Rolle's theorem for the function f of x is equal to x square plus 2x minus 8 between the intervals minus 4 to 2. So first, what are we supposed to check? Check it.
Continuity.
Continuity. Is it continuous?
Sir, sir, it's all polynomial functions continuous.
Sir, it's continuous, sir.
All polynomial functions by default are continuous.
Okay, sir.
Sir, it won't verify the theorem, sir.
Why?
Sir, because minus 4, f of minus 4 won't be f of 2, sir.
Just check.
Yes,
Is
sir,
it
it won't be correct.
16 minus 8 minus 8. 16 minus 6 of 0. F of 2 is how much? They guys check it properly.
So f of 2 is 0, it's coming, sir.
F of 2 is 0. What is f of minus 4? Then what? Both are 0. No, minus 16 minus 6. Sorry, plus 16 minus 16. 16 minus 16 is 0. Similarly, when you check f of 2, that is also 0.
Yes, sir.
It will work. What is the point at which the value of f dash of x will be equal to 0? I'm still doing.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Tell me. Tell me.
Can some of the functions are continuous always, sir? By default, they continuous. Which of the functions are default continuous, sir?
So it's not like you can say, we know that polynomial functions are defined on the real number system and they are continuous. Don't use the word default in the exam paper, okay? Because for your understanding, I told, use only mathematical terms to explain. X square plus 2x minus 8. So what is the answer, guys? What is the point C? It's very simple. Man. Point C is -1. Are you people still doing it? -1, correct. So -1 lies between -4 and 2. Hence, Rolle's theorem is verified. What about the second one, though? Is there anyone having a doubt who wants me to do it?
The -1 part I won't get you.
I didn't get you. Your voice broke.
The -1 part alone.
-1. -1, nothing. See, f of x is x square plus 2x minus 8. F dash of x is equal to 0. Okay, for both, whether it is mean value or this thing, find first f dash of x and equate it to 0. So 2x plus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to -1. Now, this x is equal to -1 is nothing but the c. So you should ensure that c is lying between -4 and 2.
Yes, I understood. I got it.
Yeah. Two x plus 2 is the derivative of x square plus 2x. So examine if the Rolle's theorem is applicable to any of the following functions. Can you examine something about the converse of the Rolle's theorem from these examples? So try to solve and tell me.
So for first one, it's not applicable, sir.
Yes. Why?
For 5 is not equal to f of 5.
Because the greatest integer of 5 is 5, greatest integer of 9 is 9. So it's not applicable. First of all, not only f of a is equal to f of a, it is not a continuous function at all. Greatest integer function is not a continuous function at all.
Yes.
Second, same scenario. And third, guys, I hope everybody is able to understand that the greatest integer function is not a continuous function. Hence, when it is not continuous, it is obviously not differentiable. When it is, so these two are ruled out. Similarly, f of a is not equal to f of b also. So for Rolle's theorem to be verified, even if any one of the conditions fails, you need not work. It won't work. You need not verify all the three. You can just say
None of them are.
none of them satisfy. In this case, it is happening. Whereas for the third one, you see, it is a continuous function. It is differentiable, but
f of minus
1 is not equal to f of 2.
f of 1 is not equal to f of 2. Because f of 1 will give you a 0, f of 2 will give you a 3. They are not equal. Maybe mean value theorem will work for it.
What does the second part of the question mean, sir?
The second part of the question is just the reverse. If there exists a number C, see for example, well, I'll explain. Listen to this carefully, okay? So what does Rolle's theorem state? So there is a function from this range to this range, right? So it is continuous, differentiable, and f of a is equal to f of b. If these three are satisfied, then blindly you can say then there is going to be a number C which is going to belong between A to B, so that f dash of C is equal to 0. So the converse says, if you have a number C which is existing between A and B, where f dash of C is equal to 0, then can you say whether it is continuous, differentiable, and f of A is equal to f of B? That is the converse. For example, we had the question f of x is equal to x square minus 1. For me to verify the converse, I will say f dash of x is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So suppose I had solved this question, okay, suppose I had solved this question and I had the answer as 1.5 for the third one. Suppose I had the answer as 1.5, which is lying between these two. Can I say that the vice versa is true? That is, if I am able to find a point between 1 and 2 where f dash of x is equal to 0, then can I say that x square minus 1 is continuous? Then can I say x square minus 1 is differentiable? And can I say that f of a is equal to f of b? That's what the statement says. That is the converse. Unfortunately, in all the three scenarios, the converse is also not true.
Okay, sir, I understood.
Okay. Next. The third one is, f is a function mapped from minus pi to pi to r is differentiable function and f dash of x does not vanish, meaning f dash of x is not equal to 0. Then prove that f of minus pi is not equal to f of pi. It's actually a very simple problem. First, the function, they told it is differentiable. So keyword is differentiable. When it is differentiable, obviously, the first step is true. It is continuous as well. So it is continuous, it is differentiable. But f dash of x is not equal to 0 is not equal to 0. That is the meaning of does not vanish. Since f dash of x is not equal to 0, I can say that it doesn't depend on Rolle's theorem. Rolle's theorem is not valid. So what theorem is valid for continuous and differentiable function?
Mean value theorem.
Is a mean value theorem. So in the mean value theorem, what will happen? F of A is obviously not equal to f of B. That is what we are asking. So how you will write it in the exam is, you will say that since the function is differentiable, it is continuous as well. First step. Second, given that f dash of x is not equal to 0, hence Rolle's theorem is not applicable to this problem. Since Rolle's theorem is not applicable, the mean value theorem states that for a continuous and a differentiable function, there exists a point C only when f of A is not equal to f of B. Okay, these things you can write it in your own words. Fourth one. Verify mean value theorem for the function f of x is equal to x square minus 4x minus 3 in the interval a to b, where a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 4. Check it.
That's it.
So what is it working? So what are the points C that you got?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
X equal to 2, sir.
It's equal. Is everyone getting the same? Okay. So in this case, C will be coming out to be 2. That you guys verify. Similarly, what about the fifth one? Verify mean value theorem if f of x is equal to x cube minus 5x square minus 3x in the interval a to b where a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 3. Find the value of c that belongs to 1, 3 for which f dash of c is equal to 0. So it's a polynomial function, continuous and differentiable. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 3. So what is f of 1, guys? 1 minus 5 minus 3, that is minus 7. F of 1 is minus 7. What about f of 3? That is 27 minus 45. 27 minus 45 is minus 18. Minus 18 minus 9 is minus 27. Okay. What is f dash of x? 3x square minus 10x
That's 10x.
minus 3. Okay. This should be equal to minus 27 plus 7 divided by 2. Minus 20 by 2. How much is this? Minus 10. So you get 3x square minus 10x plus 7 equal to 0. So you will have 3x square minus 7x minus 3x plus 7 equal to 0. So 3x into x minus 1. So you'll get 3x minus 3x into x minus 1 minus 7 into x minus 1 equal to 0. So 3x minus 7 into x minus 1 is 0. So x is equal to 7 by 3 and 1. So but what is the interval that is given? Between the points 1 and 3. So 1 will not be there. 7 by 3 is a number between 1 and 3. Hence mean value theorem is verified. So C is a number between 1 and 3 where f dash of C is equal to f of b minus f of a by b minus a. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
So they're asking, is there a point where f dash of x equal to 0 also? So f dash of x is 3x square minus 10x minus 3 equal to 0. So 3x square minus 9x minus x minus 3 equal to 0. So this then we can't. So use the formula and then solve it. So what is this thing? So minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Use the formula and then solve, you'll get the answer. So first of all, why are we doing it? Find all C values which belongs to 1, 3 for which f dash of C is equal to 0. First of all, is f of A is equal to f of B for Rolle's theorem to be validated? Because you will get
Could you
f dash.
repeat what you just said?
No, I'm asking the second part of the question. They are saying find all values of C that belongs to 1, 3 for which f dash of C is equal to 0. This f dash of C is equal to 0 has something to do with Rolle's theorem. So you will get f dash of C is equal to 0 only when f of A is equal to f of B. Check if there is any condition like that. Since you are getting this f of A not equal to f of B, you need not find any value of C. Okay. So the last problem that they're asking is examine the applicability of mean value theorem for all the three functions given in the above exercise. So for the above exercise 2, that is the second question. So for the first and second, obviously mean value theorem will not work. Why? Because the function is not continuous.
Not continuous.
It is not continuous, hence it is not differentiable also. Maybe you can try for the third one. For third one alone, check and let me know if mean value theorem is valid.
Yes, sir, it's possible.
What is the value of C?
Zero, sir.
Then 0. What did you do? 0 is not a number between 1 and 2, no? Then how is it valid? So the function is x square minus 1 and the interval is 1 to 2. So for mean value theorem, what are we supposed to do? F dash
Sir,
of
1 by
f of B minus f of A divided by B minus A. 1 by 2 is also wrong. So f of B is how much? 4 minus 1, that is 3. 3 minus 0 divided by 1. So what is f dash of C, guys? 2x is equal to 3, which implies x is equal to 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 is definitely a point between 1 and 2. So mean value theorem is applicable to it, but Rolle's theorem failed. Okay. So that's all with this chapter, guys. So the miscellaneous part, I'm leaving it to you. You guys try it out and let me know. Okay. So next class we'll be starting applications of derivatives, and for matrices and determinants, I will be uploading the videos maximum by Monday. Okay, that you can go through. In the meanwhile, you have any doubt, you can reach out to me.
Okay, sir.
That's it. You can log off. If you have no doubts, you can log off.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.